Commas. Let's talk commas. So we use commas all the time in writing, and commas signal pauses. Sometimes they're short pauses, sometimes they're a little bit longer. But what they do is they signal a pause, and that pause can be in between, like introducing somebody's name, but we often use it in a list. So some of the examples that we're going to focus on are going to be lists, and commas are actually used to shorten sentences. They help get us to the point faster, and we like that, right? Let's look at this one. I like cooking my family and pets. Use commas. Don't be a psycho. What they meant is, I like to cook, comma, I like my family, comma, and I like pets, period. So what they're missing is they need a comma right here. I like cooking, comma, my family, comma, and pets. And now it is a list of things that you like to do that will not, get you a jail sentence. So let's practice placing some commas. We have the sentence here, Janice swims and Seth swims and Berlinda swims. That's pretty wordy. And number 2, we have we played soccer, basketball, and volleyball. See, there's a little bit of confusion right here. Is this a new game? Is this like frisbee golf? Is this a new soccer, basketball? That could be interesting. You should invent it. So let's look at where the commas should go. If we're keeping the same format, then we'll just put commas after what they do. We played soccer, comma, basketball, comma, and volleyball. If you wanted to shake it up a little bit, you could shorten this even further and just say Janice, Seth, and Rolinda swim. All right. So commas are handy. Other notes about commas. Here's your pun for the day, and I got to work it into the content. What's the difference between a literalist and a kleptomaniac? A literalist takes things literally. A kleptomaniac takes things literally. So a literalist takes things literally. A kleptomaniac takes things literally. Do you see how there's a pause there? Because of the comma. The only difference is the comma. This might be funnier later when it clicks. Okay. Capitalization. Some people struggle with capitalization, and what I want you to remember is to think about respect. And capitalization shows respect for the person, place, or thing that you are capitalizing. So have you noticed that the first word of titles, books, magazines, they're capitalized? You should always capitalize the first and big words of these titles. You don't have to capitalize minor words like a, and the, but you should make sure at least to capitalize the first word of every sentence. We also capitalize proper nouns, so this is how we show respect. If there is the name of a particular person, place, or thing, so you could say a country, that's a lowercase c, but if you're saying Denmark, then that gets a capital D. You could say a football player, and that's lowercase. But if you're talking about Tom Brady, the football player, then you got to show him some respect and capitalize his name, whether or not you like him. This is why we capitalize your name, the first and the last, and the middle if you have a middle name. Yellowstone National Park. Notice every single word in the title gets capitalized because that is its complete name. I do hope that one day you get to visit Yellowstone if you haven't already. And the last piece we will look at is spelling. Spelling is really difficult in the English language because English is a baby from lots of other languages. And it has changed based on the people who use it. So that's kind of the beautiful thing about a living language. That's why we call it language arts. But spelling can be very difficult. What I would say is please just try your hardest so that your spell check can help you out. Sometimes I struggle with certain words, and spell check is like, girl, I have no idea what you're trying to do here. So I'm going to read this. There are multiple spelling errors, but I want to see, like, can you hear what they're trying to say? A snail can sleep for 3 years at a time. There are 1 million ants for every human in the world. Octopuses have 3 hearts. Dogs' sense of smell is about 100,000 times stronger than humans. However, they have only 1/6 our number of taste buds. The flamingo can only eat when its head is upside down. So why in the world am I even talking about like proofreading and spelling? And this is the stuff that makes you go, but I'm just not good at it. Why is this something that I've decided is important for you to look at? It can feel like a lot to remember, but that's why we practice it. When you leave Shelton High School and you go out and you get a job, you have to turn in a resume. That is a written document, a written piece of communication coming from you to another person. I want you to be able to communicate in writing and put the best foot forward. I want it to look as good as possible. We have all of high school to practice. But when you start moving from school into the public community, the public as a whole will judge you based on your spelling, based on your grammar, based on your use of punctuation and your capitalization. It is a sign of respect, and it has been used as a sign of intelligence. So I want to learn you good and make sure that you have time to practice proper English so that you are ready for whatever avenue that you would like to take. I've told you I've had a variety of jobs. Even working at O'Reilly Auto Parts, I needed to communicate in written way. I needed to send emails. When I worked at the bank, I sent emails off a lot to fellow bank members and to customers. It is really important that you have a grasp of these proofreading skills and that you always proofread before you press send. Always proofread before you press send. Okay? It's not just about spell check. It's about how does the whole flow fit. And this is something that we skip a lot of times, but it's really important, and that's why we are taking the time to talk about it today.